For the next 18 minutes or so, I'm going to talk, or I would like to share rather, 3 stories to which I am very much relate to. So one is education, second is communication, and third is innovation. So let's begin with the education. As you see, the famous quote from Nelson Mandela. The UNESCO says around 263 million kids are out of school worldwide. And as per the HRD Ministry of Government of India, we have 8 million students or the kids out of school. For numerous reasons, poverty, accessibility, and availability are the main contributors. And I was supposed to be one of those 8 million students, because my parents were economically poor and academically illiterate, but they were very much determined to send their kids to the school. We are 3 siblings. I did my instrumentation engineering and graduated from MIT. I think, when I look back, it was quite hard time for us, just like any other children or any other child in the village of India. Rather, we were the very first of our whole genealogy to go to school. And education has been the transformation tool in our life. And we wanted same to happen with the others, with our community. So our family started a school literally under a tree. And that was not enough. One child coming to a school, then we had 14, then we had 25 and 60 and so on. But we are serving to 10 different villages, and from each one of those villages, 10 kids were able to reach to our school. And inspired with the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda, if students are not able to come to school, can we take school to the students? And then this was the birth of Education on Wheels. The Education on Wheels is a mobile doorstep school bus program. It is rather a school set up in a bus that goes to different communities and teach over there. Here we are taking technology plus people together to the communities to do their job. Around, it is now the current census says around 64.84% of the people of India lives in villages. Those villages are 65,000 villages. Imagine if government has to provide a physical infrastructure to each one of this village, it will take forever. And it is time, money, and effort intense. So what we propose is a mobile school of a model that goes to different communities and to the kids who are willing to learn, will solve the entire early age education challenge. On the communication side, India has been a multilingual country. It's a beauty, it's a diversity, and at the same time it is a challenge. As per the UNESCO, over 2.4 billion people do not have access to the education, to the basic education in their own language. And it is research across 26 different countries that 50% of the school dropout are because of the second language barrier, that they are getting educated in a different language than they are speaking the different language at their home. And also so for me, this is a huge academic failure, and I was supposed to be one of this victim of this language barrier. It was, I remember, 24th of July, 1995. I was given an admission form to fill up. I wrote my name, I wrote my birth date, and there was this column called gender, G-E-N-D-E-R. I don't know what to do with that and what is mean by the column called gender, and I don't know why I tick mark on option called female. So that was the level of my English at that time when I was preparing to go into the course of or the career of engineering. But it was nightmare actually when I entered in the class. The whole course was in English, and I was never exposed to the language English until or beside one academic subject until that time. Everything was resting right over my head, and I don't know how to deal with that. And very surprisingly, two of my friends quit because of the language barrier, and I also happened to pack my bags thinking that this is not my cup of tea. But something stopped me. I thought there is a challenge, so must be the solution. And I approached to one of the professor who happens to be very good person, and he not only offered me a phenomenal thing called dictionary, but also taught me how to use it. Until that time, I was, again, this word, dictionary, was very much alien word to me or alien thing to me, because I had whole of my schooling with the help of the books from friends or relatives. I got fascinated with that simple booklet dictionary, and I started learning language. For the next year or so, I was very honest, going through pages and words by words. Coming back to the room or to the hostel, I was looking at the words, those I was encountering while professors were teaching in the class, and slowly I was able to understand. At the end of the year, when the news were out that only 4 out of 60 students are complete, passed in all the subjects, the etiquette term, right? So I again thought I lost my dream, but to my surprise and to all of them, I was literally ranked in the whole class. And that was the moment when I realized how powerful is this tool, how powerful is my friendship with this phenomenal thing called dictionary. And I said, I never give up this friendship with the dictionary, and I have got my purpose, because there are millions of people out there who do not have access to this kind of tools. They have dreams in their eyes to become engineer, to doctor, or some other career, but handicapped with the tools like language learning tools. And then I thought I must do something. So here I got the purpose, very purpose of life. It was inner calling to me. And I started duplicating, I started distributing the Xerox, the photocopies of my own compiled dictionary to the friends. And it was not working well. The students used to like it, but it was not much handy. Then I thought of a booklet dictionary, but it was again of no use, because most of them were having dictionary but not using it. So I thought there must be some innovation, or there must be some innovative way to tackle this challenge. And I thought during this whole journey, I realized that something has to do with the technology, and thought of having a computer program which will give you the access to these language learning tools. But I had nothing to do with the computers then, and had no idea how to do the programming. So I approached a few of my friends. Fortunately, they had their own opportunities, so of not much help. And then I got to know, I came across one of the advertisement in a newspaper that you can learn computer programming in 6 months. I approached and I appeared for the entrance exam. Even I was through, but at the end of the process, I was literally thrown out. Thankfully, again, fortunately, because I was not able to pay their fees, tuition fees. It was much higher. And I asked that I can do any other job, like a sweeper job or any office boy like, but let me do this because I need to do this. I think, again, I am very grateful to those guys, because they did not let me in. And I thought this is something very personal, and I need to take it in my own control. So I ran away from the home, locked myself in a 6x6 kind of room for next 6 months, and I learned almost all the programming languages of that time. Then again came the another challenge. Because of continuous sitting practice, I used to sit like a mad, 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, days and nights. And because of that, I had another back pain challenge for which I had to undergo a critical surgery, and doctor told me that this is nothing going, you have to stop this and you will not be able to do a sitting job anymore. But I was so much passionate about my dream to come true, so I literally put the computer screen and the keyboard in the chair, and I used to lie down on the top of the table and used to follow the computer programming. In those 6 months, I literally learned all the programming languages of that time and come up with a phenomenal program, the very first search engine in a regional language called Marathi, and that was the dictionary, English to Marathi talking dictionary. So that could help to more population, those with the visually impaired or visually challenged people, including those. So that was well appreciated and very much recognized. There was a huge media coverage also. And going forward, I realized, this is not enough, because I was distributing those those softwares, different softwares on different CDs, compact disc, and that was not scalable. So I thought, how about putting all these programs on a central computer or a server, and then give access to many. And without even knowing, I was building my website, and I ended up developing the KHANDBAHALE.com with the multiple languages. So over the period of time, there were many languages. I got in touch with many linguists, subject matter expertise, and I went on building different language learning, second languageation tools, second language acquisition apps, and so that. After a certain time, I realized hardly 10% of the population is having access to the internet. So, and that was not actually my target. So my target was more into interior part, remote, or the youth like you guys in the engineering diploma or medical colleges. And by that time, I'm talking about 2008, by that time, these guys were carrying the cell phones, the smartphones with them. Actually not the smartphones, but the mobile phones with them. And then I learned mobile programming, how to develop the apps for any platform, and they were very much popular. Soon I realized it is also not it is not also the very inclusive innovation, because when we were distributing these apps to the college camps, to the college guys, 7 out of 10 would go back. And it is because they were carrying a feature phone, simple feature phone. They were not they were not having the capabilities of installing or running any kind of software. And so I was continuously on search, what is the common denominator, and I got it. It is SMS. No matter what make and model you have, but you have SMS, right? So we set up SMS gateway and started, India's very first dictionary on SMS, dictionary on message. And those were very much popular in the remote areas, especially in the villages, those who do not have access to the smartphones and to the internet. So you can see now, since 1998, I worked on developing and creating this platform for second language acquisition, and now it has got started with a one language with a one person. Over the period of 18 years, it has reached to over 100 million user base across 150 countries. Appreciated. Thank you. So my dream, I'm after a mission. My mission of life is to break this language barrier, rather convert this language barrier into a language bridge, so no one is left behind. Everyone has a single equal opportunity and to follow their dreams, irrespective of the language, what kind of language they speak. So this is the second topic we discussed. Talking about innovations, I believe that every one of us, every single kid or a child of our nation or the entire world is having the same potential. It's not just me standing here or few of us, but each one of us have the equal talent. Only what we need is to get the right platform. And I was continuously, so this was the quest in my mind how we can create opportunities. If you look at the stats, 30% of unemployment across the world, across the globe, and that says a lot. Coming up with the artificial intelligence or a deep machine learning, or you talk about anything, so the jobs are getting lesser and lesser. So we need to think about how we can create new job opportunities, completely new, out of nothing, and to solve the local challenges. This was the quest going in my mind until I met my friend and a colleague, a professor of MIT, Dr. Ramesh Raskar. So we happened to meet at one of the conference, and because both of us from the same town, hometown called Nasik, this was our connection, and we thought of doing something for our hometown. Like many other cities, we have thousands of, literally 80,000 graduates every year leaving the town in search of, or actually hunting for jobs elsewhere. This is actually the brain drain to the city, and there are a lot of challenges to solve. So we discuss how we can leverage, how we can create new job opportunities, how we can stop this brain drain, how we can create opportunities for these guys right here in the town. And then came the Kumbh Mela, and public transportation, health or hygiene. You talk about anything, and all the challenges you will see in this great event called Kumbh Mela. And we thought, this is it. Then we had 22 challenges to solve, like, public transportation, food, you can see civic, payment, housing, health, all those issues. And now we had the challenges, we need challenge solvers, right? We need the problem solvers. And then we went to all the academia in and around city. We have engineering, management, medical, all those schools. And we went to them, hey guys, we have 22 challenges to solve, who would like to jump in? And literally there were hundreds and thousands of applicants who were willing to get into it. And now we had the problems, and we had the problem solvers. So we need some expertise. And then we went and approached to the corporate guys, Tata, Mahindra, Infosys, Google, IBM, all of them. We said, we have excellent challenges to solve, real world challenges to solve, and would you like to mentor us? Because we have both the things. And then we have government we have corporate, we have challenges, we have challenge solvers, the problem solvers, real innovators, entrepreneurs from the local area. And it was a journey of almost 3.5 years. So we started somewhere in 2013, and 2014, 15, and 16, we conducted series of innovation workshops, boot camps, pilot projects. We called it as a sandbox where anyone can just jump in and try to work on those challenges. Within the span of this, 3.5 years, we were able to launch a bunch of startups out of it. And we were able to implement all those solutions into actual Kumbh Mela. Actually, this is a very bottom-up approach to solve the local challenges. This is called a social innovation, right? So how we can create new job opportunities, and how we can solve the challenges so we can uplift the society at the same time. So this is a real case study for many of the management schools right now, and to the engineering colleges, of course. So right now we have a very good, fully functional, world-class innovation center set up right in the middle of the town. So students and the talent, can just jump in, can log in and start working on different ideas. So I think, to sum up with this, we talked about education, then we talked about communication, language as a barrier, and also it as an opportunity, and the innovation as a social innovation. I always think, and I always believe, that we have enough of technology now. What we really need are the social innovations. And with that thought, I would like to take a leave of you, and want to seed, plant that seed in your head as how we can create new job opportunities, how we can create something out of nothing and lead to these social innovations. Thank you very much.